Hey guys, it's Jackson here from Titanic Games, and in this video we're going to be fixing up a couple of the little issues that were occurring and making sure the hunger system works, or the hunger and thirst system works the way that we want it to. Alright, so just to demonstrate again what the problem was, if I press play, you'll see that the hunger and thirst will start to decrease. Okay, and once it reaches 0 and we start starving or being dehydrated, which it'll do in a moment here, you'll notice that we're starving, as it said, but it's not going down or it's not at 0 even though it should be. Okay, so you'll also notice that the dehydrated and starving keep showing up, and that's because the timers are still active. So we'll also pause those until hunger has been added or thirst has been added. Okay, then we'll unpause them. All right, because we don't want it to continue to tick, basically. So let's go ahead and do that. So first thing, we'll go into our survival character. Let's open up the deplete hunger function, and first we'll address the problem that occurs when, when you run out of hunger. Okay, we'll take everything here, move it way out of the way because we're going to add some stuff, and all we're going to do is off of true say set current hunger to 0. That's all we have to do. Because if this registers as true, then we know we want it to be 0. Okay. Next, what we'll do is we'll say not unpause. We'll say pause timer by function name. So rather than, sorry guys. All right. So I think as I was saying, yeah, we're just gonna pause the timer instead of like clearing it or anything. Okay. So we'll go ahead and say for object we'll say self. And again, for object, it automatically defaults to self, so you don't have to do this, but it's just a thing that I like to do because it helps me, remember what's going on, what the object is. Okay, so yeah, the function that we want to pause is the hunger timer itself. So, we're going to pause this function, essentially, and then we're going to go about our day and do the rest of this, okay? So that's the deplete hunger. Next we'll do deplete thirst. It's essentially the same thing. Move all this over. Here we're going to say set current thirst to 0. And I never moved this over enough, do I? Okay. I still probably didn't. So we'll say, oops, not clear. We'll say pause timer by function name. Yep, still didn't move it enough. Solid. Okay, moving it over. There we go. For object, again, self, function name will be this function, so thirst timer name. Okay. And there we go. Next, we'll do deplete health. We'll take this. We can just copy and paste it, actually. That'd be faster. Copy and paste it, plug it in. We can actually, we'll clear the timer associated with this one. So yeah, we're actually going to clear it, not pause it, because this would be like an end game scenario. So we're just going to we can completely clear it. We don't need to pause it. So we'll clear the function. Then we'll say, oh, sorry, what am I thinking? We'll take the health timer name, plug that in, and there we go. That time I gave it too much space. Okay, so I think we fixed it. If we press play and let it do its thing, see if it works. There's a couple other little things that we'll change up, like how to unpause it once we add hunger back. Okay, so now we're starving. It reached 0, perfect. And we're losing health at a set rate. Now we're dehydrated, so we should be losing it at twice the amount now. So it looks like it's going in increments of 10 now, which is good. Yeah, it looks like increments of 10 at least, instead of increments of 5. So then, boom, we are dead. Cool. So we're dead, and everything's working. Now all we need to do is add the functionality to unpause those functions. So what we'll do is add a couple new functions. We'll add one called add hunger, add thirst, and add health. Okay, and basically with these functions, what we're going to, these will be just kind of general functions that you can call from anywhere. Okay, so you'll be able to add health or hunger to, from an item that you eat, or, stuff like that, I guess. So basically with add health, or no, we'll start with add hunger. So with add hunger, we'll add an input value that we will call amount. Change it to a float if it isn't already, okay? And we'll give it a default value of like 5.0. Now, in case you've never like experimented with adding default values, basically what it does is if you, add the function somewhere, it gives it a value already. So if you don't ever set the value, it'll give you something to work with. So I'll just go with 5. But basically what we're going to do is we're going to say amount plus float. We're going to add current hunger. Oops. We'll get our current hunger, add it like so. We're going to run it through a clamp so that we can make sure we don't ever add above our max hunger. If you want that to be a capability, if you want to be able to add more hunger than you have for max health or max hunger, then you can certainly do that. But we're gonna stick within our range here. Then from here, what do we do next? Yeah, okay. So from here, we're gonna take the clamp value and say set current hunger. All right, we're gonna set that value there to the current hunger, and then after we've done that, we're gonna drag way out and do a branch, because we're going to check if our timer is active. So we're going to say is timer active by function name. I'm going to plug that in. Okay. Object will be self, as it always is. And then the function name we want to check is hunger. Okay. We want to see if that hunger function is active or not. Okay. Or, oh shoot, I did active. We want to say is paused. Is paused. Is timer paused by function name? That's my bad. Okay. No matter. Easy fix. Easy fix. Okay. So if it's paused, right? If true, then we want to unpause it. Okay. But if it's false, we don't want to do anything. So we'll say unpause timer by function name. Again, self function name will be hunger timer name. All right, perfect. That's pretty much all we got to do. Now we can, all this will be the same in, let's see, it'll be the same in the thirst function. So we'll take everything, copy it all, go to add thirst, paste it. There it is. Hook this value up. We just need to add an input now, so we'll add an input. Call this amount, not z amount, just amount. Give it a default for the heck of it. Plug it in like so. Now we just need to change the variables here. So we'll take current thirst. Okay, so just be very careful about this. Make sure you're plugging in the right numbers, because that'll probably cause issues. If that'll probably be a source of bugs, I guess, if you're adding or replacing these incorrectly. So yeah, just be aware of that. Okay, so there we go. All the thirst stuff is done. So let's see. I guess a quick way to test this, we'll go ahead and add a box trigger to the level. I'm going to scale it up. Okay, and then I'm going to set actor hidden in game to false so we can see it and know where to walk. We'll go to our blueprints, level blueprint, and make sure you have it selected in the level. So then we can right click, add an event, collision event, actor begin overlap. Okay, what we'll do is we will cast to our BP survival character. From there, we're going to call add health, or actually no, add hunger. Okay, and did I not give it a default value? Whatever, we'll say like add 10 or something. Okay, so when we add 10, what it should do is reset or unpause the timer. So like if we walk over it right now, you see the timer's still going to work. We're just going to keep losing hunger, and then once it runs out, which it should in a second, okay, it's going to start doing that, right? But now if we walk over it, oops, I didn't. Why is it not working? Okay, obviously there's an issue. Okay, so after doing a little bit of testing just now, I realized that what's going on is because we're pausing it, right? So once we run out of, okay, so we're starving currently, right? So once I step into this box, right, I changed the value that it's going to add to 75, so it's going to add a lot, right? So you'd think that it would go up to 3/4, but what's going to happen is it's going to go up to 3/4 minus however much gets subtracted each, each tick of the timer, because when you unpause it, it just immediately fires. So I'll just show you. So I step over, and you see it didn't go up to 3/4. Oops, it didn't go up to 3/4. It went up to 55, because it's 75 minus 20. So the way to kind of counteract that is, if we, you could add like a delay, I guess. Actually, well, not the way it's currently set up, because that'd be inside functions. But the way we could handle it is using or clearing and setting new timers. I was trying to avoid that because I didn't want to be constantly clearing and setting timers all over the place. But it looks like that might be the better way to handle this right now. So let's go ahead and just change up the code a little bit to work with that. Okay, so what we need to do is go to deplete hunger first. And instead of this pause timer, we're going to delete that. We are going to say clear timer by function name. It's essentially the same thing, right? We're going to clear it, print string, do all this other stuff. Okay, still checking if it's active and all that. Okay, then to handle that change, back in add hunger, instead of checking if it's paused, we're going to say is timer active by function name. Hook these up. Oopsies. Okay, and if it's active, okay, then we aren't going to do anything. But if it's not active, we're going to say set timer by function name. Set these, plug in hunger depletion rate, and we'll say looping. Okay, now we'll do the same thing for the thirst. Okay, so we'll go to deplete thirst, get rid of pause. Instead, we'll say clear timer by function name. All right, hook that up like so. Okay, go back to add thirst, check if it's active. Is timer active by function name? And as you saw there, I just dragged off the string there because it would plug right in. But yeah, then off of false now is where, again, we're going to say set timer by function name. Hook it up like this. There we go. And then we're going to use our thirst depletion rate here because this is thirst. Do looping. Okay, everything else should be correct. If we press play now, we'll wait, see how it goes. I'm hoping it'll work this time, or I'm pretty sure it should work. Alright, so now we're starving. Now we add it and it went up to 75. So it's back to working the way that we wanted it to. So it's perfect. Okay, the only last thing that we need to do now is we need to cancel out this little tidbit. Okay, so once we reset the timer, right, we need to change the health depletion amount. Okay, so we'll do that. So let's go to our add hunger function. All right, and along here, along the false branch, right where we're setting the timer again, what we want to do is drag out and do another branch. And from this branch, we need to check two things. First, we need to check if the health timer is currently running, and then we need to check if the opposite timer of our hunger timer is running. So basically, we need to check if the thirst timer is running, because based on those two things, we can infer if we need to divide by 2 again to get back to the normal depletion rate. Okay. So what we'll do is right click and say is timer active by function name. Okay, do self for the object. Function name will be our health timer. All right. And then Okay, then we'll drag off and do an and. So an and boolean, because we're going to be checking two things. Now, we can take this same function here, or this same code here, and we'll replace the health timer name with thirst timer name. And keep in mind we're in the add hunger function. Okay. Now we want to see if this one isn't running. So use a not boolean, plug that in. Okay, and based on this check, we can know whether or not we need to reverse this little functionality. So we'll go ahead and add that part now. So off of true, we are going to set the health depletion amount. Oops. Okay, we're going to set the health depletion amount equal to the health depletion amount divided by 2. Just like that. Plug it in. And perfect. So we can pretty much take everything here, copy it, go to add thirst, paste it, hook it up. The only thing we need to change now is the thirst timer name. So we'll hook this up, compile and save. So now the last thing that we need to do is do the opposite, of this part, or do the opposite of this. So we need to clear the timer instead. So off of false, and I'm in the add thirst right now, we'll say clear timer by function name, object self, function name will be health timer. We'll take this exact same thing, copy it, go over to add hunger, paste it, hook it up, copy and paste. There we go. Beautiful. Now if we test it out, okay, so we'll watch our, I just quickly detached the randomize so that we could test it a little easier, but don't worry about that. We'll attach it back again. So anyways, we're about to hit starving here. So our health is going to be decreasing now, or depleting at 5, okay, a rate of 5 per. But now if I add some hunger, it stopped the timer. All right, but now it's going to start again for the health, okay, because we're dehydrated. So it's decreasing at 5 again. And then once our hunger runs out, it'll start decreasing at 10. So there it is, decreasing at 10. Add some more hunger. Canceled out that extra 5. All right. So there we go. So it's all working now the way that we want it to. Perfect. All the little nuances and issues were worked out. I guess there's a couple things we could do. We could collapse some of these to functions since we use them so often. All right, like setting these timers. Checking if these checking timers. So perhaps we could do that. Let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so we're going to take this health timer here. I'm going to right click on it and collapse it to a function. Say is health timer active. Okay, and we're going to make this pure. So it's just like this. Is health timer active. Do the same thing here. Collapse this to a function. Say is thirst timer active. Okay, make it pure. And there we go. And just like that, it's already a lot more condensed and nice. Okay. Now for setting the timer, we could probably convert this to a function too. Let's just get the other timers done quick. So we'll collapse this to a function. Say is hunger timer active. Okay, make it pure. Now we can take these and go replace them everywhere that they're needed. Okay, so we'll replace that. Say is health timer active. Plug that in. This one will be is thirst timer active. Wait, nope, not thirst. My bad. Is hunger timer active. Plug that in instead. This one will go up here. Okay. All right, so now we can go ahead and set these other timers too. Make these timers, or make these functions. So we'll collapse this to a function. Say, set thirst timer. Okay. Maybe we want to open that up and just straighten it out a little bit. Okay. We can do the same here. I'm actually going to take this variable, copy paste it right here so we can plug that in instead. I am in deplete thirst right now. Okay, we'll collapse this to a function, and this is the health timer. So we'll say set health timer. And these are just really, they're just little things that we technically don't need to do, but can make our lives easier, or yeah, make things more clear and concise. So we'll delete all this right here and replace it with the is health timer active. Okay. I'll go to here. Off of false, we can now say set health timer in its place. This one will again be is health timer active. Okay. Let's see if there's anything else glaring that we can fix up. If we go back to our event graph, right, I'm going to replug this in because I had unplugged it. But we can take our hunger, because I don't think we have a set hunger one yet, and we'll collapse this to a function called set hunger timer, like so. And this one is the thirst timer, which we already have, so we can say set thirst timer. Okay, already making things a little cleaner. And again, just to reiterate, you don't have to do this, but helps, I guess, to me. Is there anything else that we need to do? Deplete thirst, deplete hunger is good. Add thirst sets the thirst timer. Add hunger. Oh yeah, that's the last one we need to do. Add hunger, we just need to replace this with set hunger timer. Alright, so we'll call that good for now. Alright, so our health and hunger and thirst stuff is all set up. So in the next video, we will start adding the stamina and some more movement related things, and adding functions that will help us control stamina basically. And then after that, we'll go into like body temperature and, you know, just other things like that. So anyways, thanks for watching, guys. I hope this helped. If you like the video, like or subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.